A very good morning and welcome back to K24 This Morning. Tuesday is one of those weird Tuesdays, by the way. I don't know kama bado nyimmengia kwa system. I'm still trying to reconcile in my head, yeah? Anyway, do karibu tena sana because today we are talking about your money. And your money comes in very many ways. And where do you take it? Some of you take it back to the bank. Some of you waste it in a club. But for the clever ones, they take it into a chama. And that's exactly what I want us to talk about today. Joining me on set is Pauline wairimu from Passion Profit. Karibu tena sana. Yes, we also have Lawrence Obonyo, right, from Glam, my home. Yeah. And now we also have Jepkemboi baiya from the Ruaka Glam, my home squad.
Thank you.
Do I call it the Glam squad?
Call it the Glam squad.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Let's start with you since someone new. This so-called Glam squad, what exactly do you do? Because when I see photos, like I was telling you guys earlier, I don't even know how I got into that Facebook group. But every time I look at your photos, oh, no, nasiji me glam nyumba ya nani, me glam nyumba ya nani. Tell me, how does this chama exactly work for you guys?
Okay, the idea behind Glam My Home came up with Lawrence.
Yes.
He was thinking of recreating our spaces to be something comfortable. Okay. Something that when you go back home, you'd love to be at home. Okay. So when it started, there is this group that came up with buying things for people who don't have it, yeah? Okay. So, like, we come together. I don't have a TV. I would love to have a TV. Okay. So why not come up together, contribute this amount of money, and then buy your TV. And when it comes to next month, when my contribution comes, when the contributions are done, I would want to have, say, a cooker. Okay. Yeah. So
all right. So because I actually saw that you guys are doing mostly electronics. Do you do anything else like furniture, carpets, I don't know, wall hangings?
Yes, we do. Okay. It's basically home decor and everything entailing a home. Yeah.
Like now the Ruaka squad, how many members do you have?
Right now, we're going to have, I think, 3 groups because I started with a group of 20 and then some members pulled out, of course, due to some reasons here and there. Okay. Then we remained 11.
Was politics one of them?
Not even about that. So after we did a few glams with my first squad, other people got interested. Now I have
this is part of the 20-member group.
No,
that you,
the first picture.
Okay,
the one in white.
But this one is part of the very many teams that you guys have.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So we have a group of 32 now. I'm thinking of splitting them into 2 groups, 32. So that we can have 3 in Ruaka. Okay. 3 glam squads,
each with like 10, 10, 10.
Yes. All like 15, 15, 15.
15, 15. Yeah. So how much? I'm coming to this, guys. But how much, like, roughly do you contribute?
3,000, 5,000, depends with how people want to, you know, we have to accommodate everyone. So it goes up to 10,000, sometimes 20,000. Wow. It depends with the financial capability of the members. Okay. Yes. Oh,
so I can decide I can only do 3 Gs. Yes. He can decide he does 5 Gs like that.
No, but we have to agree.
Oh,
because you can't come up with 5,000 and he does 3,000 and we expect to be on the same level. We have to be considerate.
All right, that's amazing. Yeah. Lawrence, you're the founder of Glam My Home. Yeah. How did it come about?
Okay, I once shared the story behind Glam My Home on the group, and I was at the time in 2017. Yes. I was in a very tiny single room. Okay. So
this is now 2017.
Yeah, 2017.
Ulikuwa unaishi kwa SQ ama bedsitter ama one bedroom?
Ilikuwa tuka single fulani hapo, unaona. So all I had was a very thin mattress at the time and a television, and I started thinking to myself, what if I started to make my space look more fabulous, despite being as little as it is at the time. So you find that the idea was born from there. So I went to Facebook and I created the platform because I knew that there are people like me outside there who would like the same. Yeah. So I wanted to give them an opportunity to express themselves, to get to interact with one another. And so you find that with time, more people started coming on board. Okay. So in as much as we have impressive homes being posted on the platform, we also have people who are coming up. So tufungiwa tu wale wenye wanaona ati saa zingine mtu akipost unasikia anasema msirushe mawe sana.
So kuna watu wanaishi kwa nyumba za mabati, guys living in bungalows and stuff.
So we want people to know that regardless of how little their space is, they can still make it look fabulous, and they should not limit themselves to what they have. They should look at the bigger picture, because I believe everybody can grow, you see.
So did people help you to glam your tiny space?
I can say that nilingangana tu kimwanaume. So when I look back at where I came from compared to where I am today, I just give thanks to God, because it has been an amazing journey.
Wow. Yeah. All right, we'll get to where you live nowadays. Kama your glam my home iliko upgrade. And I'd like to rope you into this conversation now. And I want you to respond to us via our very many social media spaces at K24TV. You can also text us on 21222, and you can also call us on the numbers on your screen. So the question of the day is, how relevant are chamas today in our society? How relevant are chamas in our society? Are you in one? Ama in one lot wanasemanga chamani ya wanawake na sitaki. So kindly let us know. 21222. Also call us. Would love to hear from you. Passion Profit. How are you doing, Pauline?
I'm fine.
Uko kwa chama tuanzie hapo?
Niko kwa chama.
All right.
Moja lakini.
All right. Or just one?
For now, yes.
Why are you making it look like now my ambition is to get into like 6 more chamas?
No, actually it's the other way around. I was in very many.
All right.
And I narrowed it to one.
To one.
Yes.
Okay. So chamas, as they are set up right now, the question that I've just asked, I'll ask you, are they relevant?
Very relevant, Paul, because they've evolved. They've come from a social gathering or social welfare groups to serious investment groups, and they are playing a big role in our economy.
Right.
I was trying to do a background check on that, and I found that we currently have about 300,000 chamas.
Wow, in the country right now?
Yes, and holding a portfolio of about 300 billion shillings.
300 billion?
Yes.
Okay.
So formal and informal.
Yes.
Yes.
So, because as far as I'm concerned, a chama is just like a gathering like the 4 of us right now. Let's open a chama and call it K24 this morning, right? Then we agree we'll be contributing, say, even 10,000 every month. But what I see from my understanding, because I'm also in a chama, where I think we contribute 5,000, miyangu ni check off, natumanga tu doko hivyo. But I see every few months when it's my turn, nashtukia tu, ka-mpesa kamengia X amount of money. But how is that money helping us? Because at the end of the day, it's just another form or another way of saving where there's no interest on that money. Yeah.
Well, currently in our country, I say they are big time because they've evolved from being just a social support system, where we used to meet, eat and laugh, and then go home, to where we are actually looking beyond that to economic empowerment of our people, be it men or women. And in the country currently, there are more women in chamas.
Okay, that's very true.
I don't know what's up with the men, but I hear they call them investment groups.
Yes.
So people are moving from that to serious empowerment programs, where you even have decided to own some assets, where you come up and say, look, one of us is bereaved.
Yes.
We are coming in to help you raise funds for the funeral.
For the funeral, yes.
Or we are going to own XYZ building. And from there, we are thinking legacy. So we will leave this for our children's children.
Right.
So it's a form of wealth creation.
Yeah.
And some chamas have taken different forms. You can decide to contribute, as you're saying, and then get dividends at the end of the year because you've lent. So they've evolved to even table banking format.
Wow. So wait, we changa?
Yes.
Then we lend that money to someone?
To all the members. All the money is put on the table and it has to be lent out. No money is left on the table. So you borrow it, depends on what your constitution says, 10, 20%, and return it at the end of the month. So from humble beginnings of as little as 200 shillings, chamas have grown to hundreds of thousands or even millions of shillings. And you're a proud owner because it's now evolving to be like a company, where some have also generated to having like a constitution, beyond our constitution, office bearers. So they either have those services offered by the chamas, legal registration, accountancy.
So you have a member who is in there and is a lawyer, so they provide legal, whatever advice, an accountant who does the accounting. Okay.
Yes, or you outsource. And so that's how chamas have evolved. So to me, they're a big force to reckon with.
Yeah.
And you need to join one. But I always say, please have an objective. Why are you coming in? Because what we've seen is beyond that objective sometimes. Once you've achieved it, then what?
Okay.
So we wanted to go to Mombasa as an objective.
Wow.
Once that is over, then what next? So you need to have a strategic plan. Let's say a 3-5-year plan.
Okay.
Then have a savings plan to achieve that objective.
Okay.
And then go beyond that once it is achieved. So that's how people have been growing.
Let me actually ask Jepkemboi on that particular issue.
Yes.
She has mentioned a couple of things, a constitution. So basically you guys need to agree on how you're going to run your business. Number 2, an objective. So let's start with the constitution part. Do you guys have like guidelines? I know you might not call it a constitution, but I'm sure mko na mahali tu mmeandika. Ama nyinyi mna nyinyi wale mna agreeing it we. Na by that kusema hivi tuepitisha.
I would call it chama rules.
Okay.
Because we just started recently and we are working on formalizing it. But so far we have ground rules where we have set down and written our objectives.
Let me just stop you there. When you say formalizing, what do you mean formalizing? Like registering
getting registered and
with the government?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So there's actually a way we can register this chama?
Yes, with social services.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, so we have guidelines down. For example, you know, these chamas basically work on trust, yeah?
Yes.
On trust, basically on trust, because when we form, most of us didn't know each other. We met, we keep on meeting every other time, so we get to know each other. And when we meet, we write down rules. This is what we want to abide by. This is how we're going to run this so that it comes out as successful. This is how we want to achieve these objectives.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I, umesema, for example, one of the teams there you want to make 15-15.
Yes.
So assuming I come in as the, I don't know, 16th person, what happens? Do you add me to the end of the list and then nipate do mwisho? Because you guys have been you've been basically contributing and distributing this money for the last God knows how many years. Then Paul Movie has just shown up and now you've added him to the group. How do you incorporate me?
That's quite a challenge because most of the time people are skeptical that we don't know this person.
Yes.
Is she going to be able to keep up with our rules? Is she going to give us trouble or something like that? So we always advise that you come for our meetings for a couple of times, and after you meet us, get to know how we run our chama, then we can see if we can incorporate you in.
Okay.
Yes, and definitely lazima tutakuwa wa mwisho ukikuja later because we can't trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yet.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
Watu wanasemanga manzi chama ni za wanawake na tukwe tu honest yenye chama ni za wanawake. Uko ndio wana meeting, gossip, drink tea, talk about their husbands and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
What is your What is your take on that?
It's actually a misconception that has thrived for many years. And I think it is about time that people changed their mindset, because this is something that is looking to grow an individual. You see, apart from socializing, you can look at the greater picture. Unaona? So they do not have to, let us not, people should not pursue it as a women sort of thing, you see? Because through these chamas, you never know, you can end up creating a platform that is kitu kubwa sana, you see. So the kind of mindset that most people have, that ni za wanawake, that men should not get into them, I believe that it is something that should stop, by the way.
Yeah. Because
when we look at the greater picture, each and every person has a goal that they are aiming to achieve. So if you can find a group of like-minded people, wawe wanawake, wawe wanaume, why not move along with them?
Yeah.
Why should you limit yourself to say that this is a gender-specific thing, you see? So those are the kind of things that I think people should focus on addressing and get rid of that sort of mindset.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting points that have been raised there, and I'm still on the point where she said that they want to formalize and now register it to the government. Does the government actually recognize chamas? And are they called chamas under, I don't know what law or constitution?
Yes, it does. In fact, under the Ministry of Labor, we have Department of Social Services. And I was even challenging them that it's good to have that process finalized, because you will be donor ready, for example. If there's a suitor looking for you, you're already registered. And we've seen in the past years, there's been the Women Enterprise Fund that was started. So the chamas can tap into it. But of course, before you get funding, you have to be ready. There are those specific requirements, e.g. registration, bank account, do you have officials, what is your constitution? So as he said rightfully, get right-minded people first and foremost, because that's very crucial, that you're speaking one language. And get yourself organized in those 10, 15, 20 groups, then get registered. And yes, they are formidable force that the government has to recognize, or has now recognized. As I said earlier, they hold a total of around 300 billion shillings in our economy. So that's groups that you cannot ignore. Yes. And there's also different forms abroad. I discovered that there are Kenyans abroad who actually are members of a chama, brought about by different reasons, come together during like special occasions. Yesterday we had Mashujaa Day. So they come together during such occasions. They come together, just, you know, those reasons where you're away from home, so it's lonely. So once in a while they share a meal. And yes, they still do have constitutions. They have contributions that they make. And one of the contributors of money from the diaspora, a lot of money, is actually from those chamas coming back home.
I don't know, Jepkemboi, if today, again, what is your criteria if someone wants to leave that chama? Because inaweza fika mahali, manze nimehama Ruaka na sijisikii kwa hii group yenu tena, maybe kuna ingine ya Emali nataka kujoin. So now what happens? Do I live with my money? Like, what is the criteria on that?
For our group, we haven't gotten to a point where anyone is about to leave yet.
Okay, if anything, you guys are expanding.
Just a little bit. But again, I would think if someone is to go, they can hold up until the round, because we call them rounds, where we contribute for everyone until the round ends. And then when they are moving out, we can exclude them from the next round. But we can hold them up for that round until it ends. All right. Still want to remind you of the question of the day. Are chamas relevant in this day and age as it is right now? Because a lot of conceptions out there, people say that, oh, chamans are wanawake. But wanaume wameingia, wanajita sijui investment groups, sijui self-help groups. So the question again is, how relevant are chamas in our society? Now, kama wewe ni mwanaume by the way, I'd really love to hear from you. And let's demystify this. First, are you a dude who is in a chama? Ama you're afraid your wife doesn't know that you're in a chama? But every month anaonanga tu kuna ka5 kanatokanga kwa mshahara kanaenda tu place fulani, anadhani maybe uko na clan day. And it is not a clan day, it is actually a chama. So please holla with the numbers on your screen. 21222 as well is the text number to text us on. In terms of what she said, that you need to have some kind of objective. Sasa, tuchukue kwanza group ya 15 women mko nao per group that you have said. Once you have glammed all these 15 women, you've bought them furniture and carpets and fridges and TVs. So what next? That's where we have a long-term plan. When we meet, we try to strategize, because after all, we're not going to glam our homes forever. Forever, no. We're thinking of expanding into investments, say own property, say own pieces of land, help members own their own homes, because most members would really love to own, as according to my group. When we meet, we discuss this, and when we discuss, the thing that is prominently coming out is people are admiring to own their own homes. Wanasema like tunaglami nyumba ni ya kurent, so what if tukihama tupate nyumba zetu? So in the long run, we want to be able to empower our members to own property and get things that are long-term investments.
Okay. Lawrence, Glam My Home, as it is right now, about how many members are in the group?
At the moment, we have over 500,000 members. Around 500.
Yani unajua wewe ni kama MP sasa. On a serious note, hiyo ni constitution mzima hiyo.
Yeah.
I mean constituency, sorry.
Yeah. So at the moment we have over 500,000 members, and the numbers keep growing because after 2 to 3 days I get like 3,000 requests. So it's a consistent, there's a consistent growth. Yeah.
Okay. Because the reason I'm asking this is, how do you get to manage such a large group of people? Like, do you have admins, assistant admins who are helping you, you know, check out what is happening? Because I know sometimes before someone posts a particular post, it has to be, you know, vetted before it's allowed on the, onto the forum. How do you get to manage 500,000 people, boss? Uko na job ingine?
Actually, it's a great challenge because you see, some people expect that immediately they have posted, they want their post to appear on the group.
Yes.
But you find that at 30 minutes, you start getting offensive messages. Mi mnanilenga tu, mnitaki kwa group.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I have a group of admins who help me the same. And actually, there's one guy who has really helped me so far to manage the group.
Yes.
And it's Otis Wakona.
Otis?
So, yeah, Otis Wakona.
Otis Wakona?
Yeah. So he's
is that the Goriti?
So he's a tech guy. So along the way, I've encountered some challenges.
Right.
Yeah. So he has been of great help. So approving the post takes time, by the way. So that's one of the things that I normally urge the members to understand, because the moment we let the platform to be free, like anybody can post anything at any time, the group will lose its focus. Because sometimes I come across some posts, unaangalia tu hivi unashtuka.
Unashanga.
Yeah, unashanga huyu mtu anafikiria nini.
Hapo ndio social media laws zinaingilia.
Yeah.
Pauline,
yes,
in regard to, that's a very large group. There's the whole thing you said about registration, but I also feel like sometimes chamas are too basic. I mean, we're too basic. We just want to buy TVs and fridges, wait for my turn, nichukue hiyo do nilipe deni niko nayo, and so on and so forth. But do these chamas actually have an avenue where they can go and say, you know what, now we need to get financial literacy. We want to see how much, because every month we contribute, say, 100,000. Because a lot of chamas, again, I mean, they don't think beyond their noses. Forgive my connotation, but do you think there's somewhere where they can go get financial literacy in regards to that money?
There is. Currently, banks are really eyeing chamas. And you find that most banks now even have chama-specific products. One of the services offered is financial literacy. They also advance some credit to them. And just talks around what else you can go do, or you can do as a group.
Right.
Because initially, every chama wanted to buy land. And you see, you realize that land is a long-term investment. So when you want to liquidate it, it may not happen immediately.
Actually, you've mentioned land, and there's Njoroge wa Murang'a who's calling. Njoroge, good morning. Njoroge ni kama amekata simu. Hello? Okay, tumepoteza Njoroge. Maybe he's that person who's talking about land, or rather what you're talking about as far as land is concerned. So I want us to take a short break, but when we return, what I would like us to focus on is how these chamas can expand, and also think how they can expand their income. Apart from the 3,000 you're contributing, how can we make it 5,000, 7,000, regardless of our incomes? So do stand by for that. Remember, the question of the day is, are chamas relevant in this day and age in our society? 21222 is the number to text, and of course, you can call on the numbers on your screen.